Hello guys! I want to share you my topic today. It's all about communicative competence and discourse. Communicative competence was originally derived from Chomsky's distinction between competence and performance. Performance concerned with the process of applying the underlying principle to the actual language use. And competence, according to Chomsky 1957, shared knowledge of ideal speaker to listeners set in a completely homogeneous speech community. Next is Hames 1967. Hames stressed that goal of language instruction is building up learners' communication competence. He made a distinction between grammatical rules of usages that enable users to construct correct sentences and the use of language to accomplish some kind of communicative purpose. After Chomsky and Hames, next is Canell and Swain. Canell and Swain 1980 had a framework which based on Hames' model. They exposed that competency involves grammatical, sociolinguistic, and discourse competency. Windowson 1983 made a division between competence and capacity. Windowson, he defined competence. He understood the ability to use knowledge as means of creating meaning in a language. Next is communicative competence. Communicative competence aspects of one's competence that enable him to convey and interpret messages and negotiate meaning interpersonally within a specific context. Communicative competence encompasses not only knowledge on vocabulary, word order, syntax, semantics, and phonology, but also possessing enough knowledge on social and functional rules of language. Another meaning of communicative competence, it is relative, not absolute, and it depends on the cooperation of the people involved. The four domains of communicative competence is the grammar, speech, vocabulary, and language as a whole. Next is discourse competence. Concerned a person rather, organization of ideas, whether in speech or in writing. Discourse competence deals with one's understanding of how ideas and words are interconnected through cohesion and use transitional devices. It is ability that the people have to connect sentences in stretches of discourse in the form of meaningful whole out of the series of utterances. Next is grammatical competence. Focuses on sentence-level grammar and concern with intersential relationship, ability to see the bigger picture of a specific details. Lastly is sociolinguistic competence. Awareness of society's rules of language emphasizing formality, politeness, and directness. He or she aware and sensitive on nonverbal behaviors and cultural references such as idioms, expressions, background knowledge. This type of competence necessitates a wide understanding of the social context in which language is used. The last domain of communicative competence is known as the use of communication strategies in times of communication through paraphrase, circumlocution, repetition, hesitation, avoidance, and a shift in registers and style. Next is the cohesion and coherence. First is cohesion. Cohesion refer to a relations of meaning that exists within the text. Example, the word ties. For a text to have texture, it must include ties. Ties that bind it together. These ties are called cohesive. And given that cohesion is expressed partly through the grammar and partly through the vocabulary, there are different types of cohesive ties, such as reference, substitution, ellipsis, discourse marker, and lexical cohesion. Last is the coherence. According to Richard Platt and Platt, 1993, coherence as the relationship which link the meaning of sentences in a discourse. Let's see the two examples of coherence. Number 1 is John hid Bill's key. He was drunk. John hid Bill's key. He liked spinach. In number 1, we presume that hiding someone's key can be an effect of being drunk. So both sentences make sense even though they do not have anything in common related to grammar or lexicon. In number 1, we simply know that when someone drinks a lot, she or she behave in strange ways. Number 2, there is no coherence. The fact that John likes spinach does not have in any relationship with that of hiding Bill's key. And that's all. Thank you for listening. God bless.